Imagine waking up one morning, walking outside and realizing you're completely surrounded by soldiers. Thousands of them, all pointing weapons at you. And they're here because of one man inside your house, but then something unbelievable happens. God opens your eyes and you see an even greater army, an army no human eye can normally see. Today, we uncover the moment God revealed the invisible realm to an ordinary man, and what it means for you. This story isn't talked about much in Sunday school. It's not preached often, and most Christians have never heard it in full. But it is one of the clearest moments in human history where God peeled back the spiritual veil and let someone see the invisible war surrounding us. This is the forgotten miracle of Elisha and the angel army. In 2 Kings chapter 6, the king of Syria is angry, absolutely furious. Every time he plans a secret attack against Israel, Elisha somehow knows. Why? Because God reveals the enemy's plans to his prophet before they even happen, so the king snaps. He shouts, "Find Elisha, capture him, bring him to me." He sends an entire military force, horses, chariots, soldiers, and assassins. Not for a city, not for an army, but for one single prophet. Think about the sheer scale of that response. An entire nation's military might focus on eliminating one man. This wasn't just a simple arrest. It was a full-scale operation meant to send a message. The king of Syria was tired of being outsmarted. He wanted to prove his power, and Elisha was the ultimate target. The stage was set for a confrontation of epic proportions, pitting the might of an earthly king against the power of God's chosen servant. Early the next morning, Elisha's servant steps outside. Maybe he was going to get water or just begin his day's chores. But instead, he freezes in absolute terror. The hills around their small city are covered with soldiers. Thousands of them, horses, chariots, gleaming armor as far as the eye can see. There's no escape, there's no chance of survival. He runs back inside and cries out in pure panic, "Alas, my master! What shall we do?" This is that gut-wrenching moment you feel in life when you're completely overwhelmed, surrounded by problems, and you see absolutely no way out. This is what pure, unfiltered fear looks like. It's the feeling of being trapped, helpless, with the walls closing in. Now Elisha should panic. He should be scrambling to find a hiding spot. He should be terrified. But instead, he says something that sounds completely insane. "Do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them." You can just imagine the servant thinking, "More? There are only 2 of us. Have you lost your mind?" The servant sees an overwhelming army, an impossible situation. But Elisha wasn't looking with his physical eyes. He was seeing with spiritual eyes. He understood a reality that was completely hidden from his servant. His calm wasn't born of ignorance or delusion. It was rooted in a deeper knowledge of the unseen forces at play. Then Elisha prays a simple, powerful prayer that would change everything. He says, "Lord, open his eyes that he may see." And instantly, God removes the veil. The servant looks again at the hills, expecting to see the Syrian army, but what he sees now is breathtaking. The mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. Not just soldiers with swords, not ordinary warriors. These were angels. Heaven's divine military. Chariots of fire. A supernatural army powerful enough to wipe out entire nations with a single command. And they weren't even fighting. They were simply standing guard, a silent, powerful, protective barrier because one man of God was inside that house. The Syrian army was huge, but it was nothing compared to the army of heaven. As the enemy army advances, ready to capture or kill Elisha, he prays again. But this time his prayer is different. He says, "Lord, strike them with blindness." And instantly, the entire army is struck with a strange confusion. Thousands of trained warriors, weapons in hand, ready to kill, and suddenly they can't see properly. They're disoriented, lost. The servants saw the angels of God. The soldiers saw nothing but a confusing haze. This wasn't just a physical blindness. It was a spiritual and mental confusion sent by God. The most fearsome army on earth at the time was rendered completely helpless. Not by a sword, not by a battle, but by a simple prayer from a man of God. God demonstrated that he can neutralize any threat, no matter how powerful it seems, without even lifting a finger. And here's the twist in the story that nobody ever talks about. Elisha doesn't run. He doesn't hide. He doesn't panic. He calmly walks out of the city and approaches the blinded, confused army. He tells them, "This is not the way, and this is not the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek." and he leads the entire blinded army straight into Samaria, the capital of Israel. When their eyes are finally opened, they realize they're trapped, surrounded by the Israelite army, completely helpless. The king of Israel asks Elisha if he should kill them, but Elisha says no. Instead, he orders that they be fed a great feast and then released to go back to their master. Why? Because this battle was never about violence. It was about God proving that He is in control of nations, of armies, of kings, and ultimately of your life. It was a display of mercy and power, showing that God's ways are higher than our ways. Just like Elisha's servant, you might feel surrounded right now. Surrounded by fear, by pressure, by bills, by pain, by enemies and problems you feel you can't possibly fight. But God is showing you today through this story what He told Elisha. Those who are with you are more than those who are against you. You are not alone. You have protection that you cannot see. There is a spiritual army around you, even in your darkest, most overwhelming moments. You might feel surrounded, but you're not surrounded by enemies. You're surrounded by angels. The same God who protected Elisha is protecting you. The same power that blinded an army is at work in your life. Trust in the unseen. Have faith that God's protection is greater than any problem you face. If you want more powerful, mysterious, and untold Bible revelations just like this one, make sure you subscribe to our channel. There is so much more hidden in the scriptures that most people never get to read. Thanks for watching.